Hello, hello. So we are still in our prep week for intermittent fasting, and we've talked about several things that were really important. One, of course, being your water. Water, water, water. Make sure you're drinking enough water. It is tremendously important, and we will say it over and over and over again. But today, I just want to talk about some things that you can do to get prepared for your intermittent fasting. We talked about increasing the time that you wait to break your fast each day. So I hope you're beginning to think about that, beginning to work on that. Now, the other thing is I'd like you to get a journal. It's really important that we begin to track some things, because what you track, you can change. Okay, it's really important that we see it on paper. Like, for instance, with water. Okay, if I don't track my water, I feel like I've had a lot, but then if I go back and I go, dang, I really didn't have that much. So I have a 25-ounce water bottle, and I make sure I drink it 4 times. That's a way to track. So in this journal for this 30 days, I would really like for you to write down your water. I'd like you to write down what foods you eat. And the reason I want you to write down all the foods you eat are because, one, you have the opportunity to have a half-hour consult call with me or JB. And if you have written down everything you've eaten, that gives us some fuel to be able to give you some advice. So like, if you've been intermittent fasting for a week or two and you're not quite getting any results, we might be able to tweak some things that will help you. Now, why would it be possible that you might not get results? Well, everybody's body's different, and everybody's rate of insulin production and the timing of insulin production. Did you know that for some of us, we're producing insulin even when we're not eating? So it may be that we need to make some tweaks in what you're eating, when you're eating, and how long your fast is in order to hit those results that you're looking for. So you're going to record your water, you're going to record your food, you're going to write down how you feel, and if you have any feelings of bloatedness or gassiness or indigestion maybe, or itchiness, tiredness that all of a sudden hit you, any of those things you want to write down, because if you have another day like that, you can look back and say, did I eat something the same on these days that I may have a sensitivity to? Now, later on in this group, I have a video about food sensitivities. It's a little long, but I really hope that you watch it, because it's really important that we figure out these food sensitivities, because they might be causing serious illness in our bodies that will lead to things like autoimmune diseases. So you're going to be also start writing down maybe the days of the week and when you're going to be fasting on those days. You can plan ahead so you know when to stop eating one day, because you're going to have to eat by a certain time this day. The other thing is it is super duper beneficial to do your workout during your fasting window. So I work out about an hour to 2 hours before I break my fast. Ideally 2 hours, because then you work out, you get the benefits of the boost in energy that you get from burning fat, but you also burn more fat for that workout. And you're thinking, I don't think I can work out if I haven't eaten for 15 hours. Yes, you can. And you'll shock yourself. And you'll go down, and in the beginning, you'll kind of feel like, I don't think I can do this. And then you do it, and you're like, wow, I not only did that, it wasn't even that hard to do that. And you will get more benefits, more muscle growth, more lean fat burning, more definition from working out in a fasted state. It's called fasted cardio. Doesn't even necessarily mean it has to be cardio, but working out in a fasted state. So you're going to want to plan your workout as close to the time to the end of your fasting period as you possibly can. Now, let me see. There is an app, and I want to show you that. Let's see here. Let me make it so you can actually see on there. All right. So it's that little orange one with the circle, kind of looks like a sun, and it's called Zero, Zero, just Zero. And it just is like a fasting counter. And you just click start your fast, then you click stop fasting. And it just, for me, then I don't have to think about what time did I finish yesterday? What time did I just go in when I finish my last meal and I click start fasting. And then I can open it up the next morning at like 10 and go, how much time do I have left? 2 hours. Okay. All right. I'll do this. It's time to go work out, or, I'll go clean, or I'll go read. And then, break my fast when my fasting is done. And if you forget to do it, there is a little, like under the time, there's a little black word that says edit. And so you can edit it. If you go, crud, I forgot to hit my start fasting, you can go in and hit start fasting and edit it to the right time. I quite like that. My husband looks at me like I'm a little crazy. He said, I just go, okay, I finished eating now, so then tomorrow I start at this time. You can do that too. I also like it as a little graph at the bottom. I like to see my progress. So let's talk about adjusting your schedule real quick. And if you are, say, someone who goes to work full time, how can you make this work? For me, I work in the evening. JB is a realtor. He has a more adjustable schedule. If you have to be at work in the morning, how do you intermittent fast? Well, there are a couple ways you can do this. The most recommended way would be to say you're not going to eat until, say, lunchtime, and say you have an hour lunch. You go do a kick butt half-hour workout, and then you eat after that workout during your lunch break. That would be ideal. Then you would eat until, say 8 o'clock, like finish your dinner at 8 o'clock at night, something like that. If that doesn't work for you, then what you'll need to do is stop eating earlier so that you can work out in the morning and then break your fast. Or you work out in the morning, and it may not be late in your fasting window, but it's still better than not fasting. So you can work out and then eat a couple hours later when you get to work. So I don't recommend going more than 2 hours. You won't get quite the benefit from the fasted cardio if you aren't doing the workout in like after 12 hours of fasting. So somewhere in that 4 hours of fat burning is when you want to do your workout. The other thing that you can do is a different style of intermittent fasting. And we will be posting a video called Intermittent Fasting Protocols. And so it tells you different ways of intermittent fasting that you can do as well. So you don't have to do the 16-8. There are other options, and we will go over those. For example, I can give you one. It's called 5 and 2, where you do 2 days of fasting, where you only eat about approximately 500 calories in those days, and then you don't fast the other 5 days. So I'll tell you more about those different fasting options, but that's another thing that makes this great for a lifestyle, because there are options. So I highly encourage you after this course, or even during this course, to start investigating intermittent fasting, start researching intermittent fasting. There's a doctor named Dr. Jason Fung. He has a book called A Guide to Intermittent Fasting. He is one of the first doctors to begin to recommend fasting to people for healing. Fasting is extremely healing to the body. So any of those books, or that book, or any other intermittent fasting books, gobble this stuff up, learn, educate, and inform yourself about how to live the healthiest life that's going to work for you. And your food is going to be about eating what works best for you. There you go. Another little prep video. Get your journal, start recording your food, start recording your water, and start paying attention to when you're going to have your intermittent fasting and when you're going to put your workout. Now, as far as working out goes, if you're not currently working out, don't start in your first week of intermittent fasting. We're going to wait until the second week, and some of you may not even be ready then. So we'll talk more about that in the second week when we talk about working out. But remember, we're just gradually making our breakfast later right now in the prep week. And then next week we kick in at our 16-8, and we are not going to exercise unless you're already exercising. Then go ahead and keep exercising and try to put your exercise in your fasting window. Thanks for watching. Have a very blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.